Yeah. Sometimes you go through self-doubt, but that's what grace is for, isn't it? Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about manhood and what is a man. So guys, what is a man?
Well, a man to me is simply like, for me as a man, it's to provide for your family. You have to be earning, you know, the way people perceive you.
But you need to be making big money, like.
It's not even big money, but you need to be able to
making enough.
Yeah, and just be responsible for yourself. Clothes, your appearance.
But what if you're not what if you're not the breadwinner though? What if the woman's making 100 grand, you're making 30k?
No, but you've just jumped like straight to like marriage or something. I'm just talking about like a man like, on his own.
Okay.
Because for me, to be able to even attract a mate or a partner, you have to show them that you're not some like lifeless guy.
But if you say it like that, if you say it like that, so what about those that are entrepreneurs or just starting a business and they're not getting the money in straight away? So would you say they're not men?
No, but you're working towards it. So you're studying, or you're in between jobs. But something that shows the kind of the responsibility that a man has. Like if you're talking like a biblical term, like Adam, God gave him a responsibility. Like go, you name all the animals, you do. So he had a job. He was employed. You know, he was doing something. So
what comes to mind for me when we're talking about what is a man is, I see man as a representative of two things. Someone who's decisive or someone who's putting away childish things, and someone who's responsible. And where I get that from is from Genesis 2. It says Adam, like you were rightfully saying, God, when God put Adam in Eden, the first thing God did was He gave him responsibilities. And then the second thing was when Paul said, when I was young, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, and when I became a man, I put away childish things. So that was a decision. So for me, what is a man? A man is a representative of, you know, having responsibility or accepting responsibilities, and also, you know, making decisions to put away childish things.
Yeah, because I feel like you can't force a boy to be a man. I feel like it's like life hits you with with an obstacle, and you have to make a decision. So you said something like marriage. You can't train a boy to be like, you know, you have to be prepared for marriage. There's certain little things you can do, you know, especially, I guess we're all Africans. So
originally,
you know. So it's like when you think about it and you look back how your parents would train you up, you have to wake up to clean the house. So those are little like responsibilities of being a man. Just how do you?
So we've highlighted responsibilities, we've highlighted decisions. Like what else makes what is a man? Like what else?
I think like if you make a mistake, being able to like just own it and just say, you know what, I messed up.
That's big.
Like no matter what it is, whether I don't know, you cheated on your wife or you.
Whoa.
You went there, bike. Whatever it is, you just gotta just say, you know what, I messed up. I'm learning from it, and just keep it moving.
Yeah, I like that. And even just to add to that as well, like you have to embrace growth. You know, I think if you look at it, it's not a thing where, let's say for instance, we're talking about finances. You get to a certain position, you earn a certain amount. Don't be comfortable. Because at the same time, you never know what you know the next day may bring. So not just with finances, with anything. If you're, you know, settled with your missus, you know, you feel things are comfortable. Always see, how can I improve? How can I make her more happy? What can I do? So I feel like if we have that in our mindset, that, you know what, let's grow. Let's not be comfortable where we are. I feel that that's an important thing for a man.
Yeah, I agree totally. In terms of because it's scriptural, so it says to go forth, to multiply, be fruitful, and subdue the earth. So that's a scripture. It's like it's innate. It's in us because God has made us in His image, and He's made us with this mandate to go forth and to multiply. So you're right. I need more pay. So I'm always gonna need more pay. Do you know what I'm saying?
When did you feel that you became a man?
Deep.
Yeah, it is for real.
I think for me, I'll say I became a man when I just had enough of getting bullied. No, I'm joking. I think I became a man when I decided to, you know, take responsibility, whether that's in the wrong way. So for me, I guess I can talk about my background from coming from a gang culture. And if we're talking about men's issue with finances it can be a scary thing.
Yeah.
So for me, finance was very important. I didn't want to count my parents anymore.
Yeah.
So it was a thing that, you know what, I made to start selling this and selling that to make my own money.
Well, you thought that would make you a man.
Yeah,
you
so I thought
rely on
that.
parents.
So yeah, so if we're talking about when did you feel you became a man?
Yeah.
So I guess if I look back on it,
Yeah.
obviously now I'm saved. But if I wasn't saved, oh, wow, okay, okay. So if I wasn't saved, I'd say that's when I thought I was a man.
How old are you?
I was at that time.
Yeah,
I was very young. I was like what, 14?
14.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Baby.
I started early. So you started about obviously working at 14.
Yeah.
I was working too,
Well,
but there was no tax. You know what I mean? So
hey, like we've all got our dirt, man. Don't worry. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I understand, but do you feel like obviously the pressure and ultimately what we deem as being a man pushed you into sort of doing that kind of going to that sort of lifestyle, or is it more kind of like I want to be a man, I want to be able to provide for myself?
yeah, because I don't want it to be a thing where I'm just speaking myself, but I think for me, it was a thing where, because we said this earlier, how do you become a man? I feel like it's a decision. At that point, I made a decision.
True.
That, you know what, I wanted to earn more money. I don't want to count my parents anymore. So it's going to get to a point, okay, when you want to marry, you make a decision. I want to marry and settle down.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just a decision. At that moment in time, it wasn't like I was poor,
Yeah.
but I just felt like I was uncomfortable asking my parents for money. And I guess I was brought up with older people, so it was just a norm for me. So yeah, that's how I came about it.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but I don't feel like I've made that transition into manhood yet, because I grew up in a strict Christian background, you know, like go to church, night vigil, read your Bible, all that jazz. And I thought I became a man when I gave my life to Christ, but then I was still not really doing what I should be doing as a Christian, you know what I mean? So, and you know, everyone used to say to me, "Oh, you're so mature for your age." So I'd be thinking, "Yeah, I'm a man, like I'm mature, I'm mature." And but then I'll make choices that that made me question myself and think, "Well, I can't be a man if I'm making that kind of choices." Like I'll be honest with you guys, yeah. So I was with.
Be honest.
I will. So I was with this girl for like a year and a half, innit? So we were together. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna marry this girl, good Christian girl, all that jazz. And then I don't know what happened, but I cheated. You know what I mean? And it wasn't physical cheating, you know, no sex, but it was a.
So what kind of cheating was it?
It was emotional cheating.
Oh,
it was emotional
like the
cheating.
mental lie, because I thought about it.
Yeah. You know, you start investing into somebody else, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, which is probably worse, isn't it? So that made me think to myself, am I really a man then? How can I be a man if I'm doing that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Maybe really check myself and think, nah, I must not be a man. I must just be.
I think it's quite an interesting point you made there, because like ultimately we have to kind of come in terms of our human frailties as well as like recognize the responsibilities on us. Like what you just said, like I thought of he was that prophet that literally God brought down fire down the mountain. What was he? Elijah, yeah. Next minute, obviously he was a man of courage, but at the same time, what was her name? Is it the Queen of the South, Jezebel? She called him out, and he literally was running and hiding from her. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, God makes a man at the same time, but we have to understand that as human beings as well. Yeah, we have our frailties. We're not always going to get it right all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So, as long as we are sort of going in the right direction, we're purposeful about being a man. Yeah, not just say, okay, babe, because I'm a human being, I'm always going to make mistakes. So yeah, it's okay for me to do whatever I want to do. It's not right. So yeah, that's my perspective on that. Actually.
Just because you, as you said, like just because you sin or you make a mistake, it doesn't like say, oh, I'm not a man now. Because as I said, the Bible says that everybody falls short. So the person that's on their deathbed, who's 90 years old, is still in essence like a sinner. So, but we would say, oh, they're an old man. They're still a man. So it's not based upon your sin to say whether you're a man or not. Because for me now, it's like I've gone through like different stages. So you could go back to like the beginning and say, oh, I thought I was a man. I thought I was a big man because I lost my virginity. Like, I'm a man now. I know what life is about. But when I look back now, I'm just like, I was still a boy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure at this point now, when I look back, I hope not, but but when I look back now, I'll probably say, yeah, I'm a lot wiser now and everything else. And then I was still a little bit immature. There are still little things that I want to try and shape. So I think it's more important, because when I was reading the Bible and I was trying to understand what a man is, the Spirit was saying that in being a man, I need to make sure I continue to be a son to God. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I'm never gonna say, yeah, I'm a man and I'm complete and everything else. So going back to the sin and the frailty and everything else, that's part of being a man, and how you then handle another hurdle that comes at you. So for me, it's the ability and the maturity that comes with the experience, and then asking God to help you now to get over that hurdle easier and easier, and you becoming a better man in Christ.
Even with that said, because the question was, when was the point you felt you became a man? There is no one point. There's many points.
I became a man 13th October 2007. I'm joking.
So yeah, for me, I guess it's like, and it's a beautiful thing, because obviously we all have different backgrounds, isn't it? So it's very interesting to see, just the ideas of when before we actually became a man. I guess for me, if I look at now that I'm saved,
thank God.
We thank God for that, because man was naughty. But yeah, now that I'm saved, I think for me it's like I became a man when I took the courage to propose to my missus. So I take that very highly, because like not many people get the opportunity. So it's by God's grace that I got that. It's by God's grace that we did it right. So for me, if I was to compare, obviously the same way where obviously I was trying to make money legally, and then now I'm saved, the Christian way, or the good way, shall I say, is me proposing to my missus. So I'll say that for me was when I thought, alright, I'm a man now.
I guess for me, when did I become a man? It's when my NI came.
Tax came, innit? Tax man came. So I seen become a man.
I feel like my mom presented it to me like a gift. So here's your NI.
Get out.
So I already knew what that meant. So for me, I started learning stuff, as in, responsibilities, coming to work on time, sleeping early so you can go work the next day. So I started putting that into practice. So I can't really pinpoint a time when I became a man, but I would say that's when I started accepting responsibilities. And then I guess just before uni, I started learning how to put away, my childish behavior, and that carried on towards my 20s. I'm still in my 20s, but it's just continuously putting away childish behaviors. So that decision to continuously do that is when I thought I became a man in my teenage years. That really process.
Dope. That's really dope.
I think I have an argument in terms of like when you become a man, and probably I'm saying that because I've gone past it, so I'm a man. But it's when I got married, because as we were discussing before, you are responsible for yourself. But now that I'm married and this person has said yes to me, I'm like, wow, now I am accountable to God for her. And she's looking at me for certain things like security and love, emotional wellness, all of those things, my credit card and all that. I'm joking. But, no, I'm not. But in terms of like, because now I am responsible for somebody else, that I think for me now is like, okay, I'm beginning my like manhood. Because I'm like, it's responsibility, it's bills, it's how you feeling, is there food in the fridge,
But do you think like you'll ever ultimately become a man? Because before you even got married, I'm sure you're on a journey where you're becoming a man, you're learning, you're putting away things you used to do maybe 10 years ago, you don't do anymore. I hope so anyway. But you're married, you're still learning to become a man.
Of course, a better man.
A better man, a godly man. Exactly. But what I'm saying is now, my point is, are you ever going to get to a point in life when you say, okay, now I've got it all wrapped up, I figured out how to be a man?
No, I don't think so, because you are always learning. Absolutely. It's a journey.
I feel like I feel like it's a journey that you're always constantly sort of growing and evolving. But again, it always comes down to your your reference point of, you know,
like
like
perspective.
Yeah, your perspective, and you know what you kind of hold dear, and your disciplines and things like that. Your values, like, essentially your core values, and I think that has got to be, you know, grounded on, you know, on the word of God. And on, you know, on Christ essentially. So I don't feel like there's ever going to be a place where you say like,
I've made it.
I've made it.
So
there's always room for growth.
Like, what does the world actually tell us about when you become a man? Because there are many theories out there. You know, you already touched on one when you said certain guys feel that they're men when they lose their virginity. You know, so. I
mean, this might sound really ridiculous, but it comes in from the little thing, from your physical being, like literally, like your physique. Like men, okay, you have to have, you know, certain body type, structure, you know, 6-pack. God knows I don't have a 6-pack. I'm getting there though. But I feel like even little things like that, you know, you start to sort of mould our thinking in terms
even
of
hair,
even facial.
I remember I used to like count the hair. Like, oh my gosh, look, mum, look. She goes, no, it's just some fluff.
But the world's view on being a man is very, very surface level. It's very based on appearance, very based on
material
things that can really fade away really quickly. And I haven't actually got any grounding that when life circumstances really hit you, you discover that, oh gosh, like all the values that I feel like, you know, that made me a man of just off surface, and there's nothing underneath to kind of make you stand.
That makes sense.
One of my mentors was saying that in order for him to appear as he's the man is when there could be a crisis in the family and everything else, and because you're the man, everybody looks to you. Now he's saying that he has to now like be the man, organize things and sort everything else out. But in his head, he's still a bit scared, or I don't know what to do with it. But as a man, you have to appear like, okay, I've got this under control, I know what's going on, and then you do certain things. So it's
What about being tough? Because you know we kind of say that women are soft, or you know, and men have to be hard. You know, put away emotions. Because I know for myself, you know, when I was younger, I used to just force myself to put aside emotions, you know, because I'm thinking, oh, well, you're a man. Men, big boys don't cry. Big boys don't cry. So you just put aside emotions. So I guess the world just kind of tricks you, or society tricks you into that. So, you know, young boys will probably be thinking, you know what, to be a man, I need to put aside my emotions. And that's not necessarily true.
Do you not think that as a man, you have to be this tough guy? Like, you have to be willing to, like, I don't know, like, fight this other guy that's trying to move to your girl, or this, that, and the other.
I mean, like, there's a time and a place. No, to be honest, I feel like there's a time and a place to be tough. Like, you have to kind of understand the context. Like, let me just say, for example, like, you and your wife had an argument and stuff. Like, you want to kind of impose yourself, like, yeah, I'm the man of this house, blah, blah, blah. But there's a discipline when it comes to being tough. You know, you can be vulnerable. You know, you can be, you know, be very transparent. You can be very gentle, but at the same time, you start to understand where it's required of you. If a man was to move to your girl, like in front of you, probably gonna, obviously you're gonna, hopefully not get physical, but you know, have a word and, you know, just
have a couple of scriptures.
Move to your girl,
scriptures.
Because you can say move to your girl and a guy's eyeing your missus.
No, I don't mean like that.
So when you say move to a girl, as in
like
pulling her.
Yeah, like
dragging
doing something that's disrespectful.
You gotta protect.
You have to.
You don't have a choice. As in,
serve and protect.
And I feel like as men, I think what you said is very important, but wisdom comes into it. You need to know when to protect and when not to. You know, so you need to know when to leave it and when to, you know, deal with it.
I guess that's
so. I think it depends. It depends, but that's a good part. I guess if you get, everyone's obviously spoken well, and I guess if you look at it, it's like I guess you were saying that what does society deem as a man? And I guess if you look at it, it's like when I was younger, I thought being a man again, like everyone, is being able to be strong and not shedding tears. But let's say you have a daughter now, and your daughter's very emotional. Being the man of the house, being a man, how do you engage with that? And I feel like as men, we may not be trained to do that. So if we're talking about, okay, what does society say? What do we as men, how will we deal with that situation? So it's a question I want to throw out there.
What, do you mean what, I cry with her? Or?
No, you ain't got to cry with her. Because listen, I'm coming from a place of we didn't cry. But if we're talking about speaking in tongues and the spirit hits you, well, you're bawling out tears. So it's like,
or something doing worship.
So it's like, for me, it's like, how do you relate that? Because there's certain habits that we can still hold on if we don't break it now. So it's like, how do you relate that with your daughter?
No, you tell her that, you know, long time ago, I cried. You know, no, in terms of like, you
So
tell her
your
that there's a point at which you would cry, like potentially if something's like major. So if somebody passes away or like, if anything happens to you, then Daddy, I'm gonna cry because I love you so much. So you tell her the instances in which potentially you as a man would cry. And it's okay, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to because it's an expression, but it's just that because guys are like supposed to be tough. If we get hit, we're not gonna cry. But you know,
I personally feel like we're missing a trick here because I don't think it has to get to a stage where your daughter's crying or she's being emotional.
Could be your son.
It's not even that, your wife even. Do you know what I mean? Like when you get married, like, you know, obviously you guys are very, very different. You know, women tend to be more emotional. More emotional basically. So like when a situation arises where, as you say, someone passed away, God forbid, what have you not, then how do you deal with that? I think your marriage gives you guidance, kind of helps you sort of understand the other person, how to sort of deal with that as well. You know, there will become a time in the family, you know, within your marriage when it's just the both of you where, you know, you're gonna have to kind of let your guard down. You know, whether it be crying, whether it be like, you know, just being there for each other, but you know, stop being so sort of manly as the world sees it.
That's what I was looking for. That's that's the answer. I was like, we need to get to a place where it's okay to be emotionally transparent, whether that's with our daughter or with our son. And that is an important factor as a man. You know, I feel like emotional intelligence is key. And it's very easy for us to say that, you know, this is what we're gonna do, but if we have picked up habits from young, it does tend to still stick. You know, so I guess if we have viewers that are watching, it's like, how do you deal with that? What do you put in place to kind of deal with, you know, being very hard? How did you become more emotional? How did you know? So you can't just say you get on your knees and pray. Like, what steps I don't know could you take? But I guess you may not have steps.
I mean, as I said earlier, I feel like being with your partner, it's a great lesson. Because from my personal experience, like, I used to be very. I didn't really like talking to a lot of people. I was very sort of closed off, but the more, you know, I opened up, or when I started going out with my partner, my tolerance for people kind of just, you know, it's a lot higher, and I just, in terms of my emotional intelligence and stuff, I was a bit more sort of aware, like, you know, sometimes you'd be feeling a bit sad, I mean, how do I kind of deal with that, because I was never really a very emotional person, but she kind of helped me to sort of understand that, feelings do matter, emotions are real, and you know, we've come up with a place where emotions just, you know, don't show anything, like do anything but cry, do you know what I mean? Then when you have a partner saying, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, you took my sandwich at work, like, what am I gonna do, like, you know, do you know what I mean? Then you have to, exactly, you have to kind of learn to sort of empathize, and I think it's a great lesson.
So just bringing in scriptures, you know, as we've been talking about emotions, you know, Christ, you know, our role model, demonstrated emotions. You know, when he raised up Lazarus, he wept. You know, and another time Jesus showed emotion, I don't know if you guys remember or recall it, was when he came to the temple and he saw, you know, them
people
doing
selling stuff.
Exactly, and he showed emotion and he got angry. Do you know what I mean? So so I guess for guys, it's all right to show emotions, but we also have to be able to manage our emotions at the same time, because Jesus did not go, you know, crazy and just
overboard.
Didn't go overboard. He was still in control. You know,
that's key. That he's in control. You're
in control of
control.
big.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess we just have to look at Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. You know? So
that's definitely key.
It's having that ability to know when to use your emotion. Like, it's important for me, especially as a parent, for me to use my emotion when I'm trying to discipline my son or to teach him a lesson that's going to help him. But I need to manage my emotion. Like, for people that hit their children, you know, they might go overboard because they're using that source of, oh, I'm just angry, you broke my TV, instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to show him my anger to know that I'm displeased, but then I'm going to say, this is the reason why, but you know what, it's okay because I love you. Do you understand? So you need to be able to use it in a measured way to get the point across, but never lose it.
Yeah. I think one thing as well that I guess I've learned from discussion is that being a man is a journey. You know?
Yeah.
And everyone's journey is different. So we can all say things about, okay, this is obviously my experience and this is my take on it, but everyone's journey will be different. So I guess it's, you can't be a man overnight. You know, it doesn't happen. So I guess if I had a younger brother, if I had a child, it's just being able to embrace the moments. You know, I think that's very key. In the time when you are down, being able to embrace that, because one day you're going to teach someone of that experience that obviously you went through. So yeah, I guess being a man is just a journey. Simple.
It's a journey, but
in which you're accepting responsibilities and, you know, making decisions to put away childish behaviors.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically, just to round everything up, the conclusion is that there's going to be things along the way that's going to test us, and we're not ultimately going to be like have that day where we are a man, but the journey that we're going along, as long as we have God with us, He's our blueprint and our template in order for us to be the best men that we
I've been doing this for 9 years. Should I stay here? Should I switch gears? I got a dream. Who cares how to move when you're covered by your own face? But I'm still, I know it's kinda hard, but I'm still, But I'm still, never switch gears, Can't do this on my own. So far gone when I get into the zone. Still, the doubts do roam, cause people out here make me feel like I'm wrong. Still, I feel like I'm home. I put in this work, I'm trying to make it